Hi, I'm come here to share with you quantum leadership. I hope that during the end of this little talk, you get the sense of what this word means. I want you to know that it's going to be a new norm. It's not going to be the same. And everything is changing faster and faster. And with AI arriving, we're almost there because the AI is going to produce better than human being. So what's next? We evolve in the direction of our challenge. In every era, our challenge focuses on that area and we create solutions to evolve in that direction. So where are we going? We're always going in the direction of the challenge. We're on the direction so we can overcome our challenge and transcend that challenge and move to the next stage. And it talked about that human being, which is the forefront of evolution on Earth, are receiving impetus from the universe, the creative energy that creates religion, philosophy, arts, music, technology, and everything. And every faculty and discipline of human creation comes from this impetus from the universe, because we are built from the energy of the universe. So, what is life? In the Chinese tradition, life, human life, is the energy of the universe that gives us our nature, and the energy of the earth that nurture us, combined with consciousness, and then it starts moving to create our soul, which is our individual spirit, and then our mind, and from mind, our localized consciousness, our memory, our interpretation, our worldview, then our direction, then our thoughts, then our consideration in our making decision, and finally, our wisdom in dealing with the external world. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about this, because now you have a science of consciousness from the West, and even technology that can be used, and then combined with the Eastern stuff. I think you're very familiar that there's a watch and all that you can do. You can buy a little thing and then you can measure heart rate variability. If you're stressed out, it tells you a beeping sound, and then you go breathe and meditate until your stress is reduced. Well, that's modern practice combined with traditional wisdom. These things are coming up. How do you regulate stress? Stress reduces our immune system, create gut problems. A whole system starts crashing down because of stress. And really, meditation cannot happen unless you're relaxed. And then when you're relaxed, you move into the state of absorption and focus, and eventually you move inside you into the quantum field. And well-being actually is a process of awakening, aligning, collaborating, and creating. And so if we go on this journey of life with the purpose of creating life, flourishing life, then we have a life of happiness, of well-being, where we'll be free and in the moment, and enjoying and appreciating and grateful what life offers. And we'll look at challenge as a gift for us to evolve, so we will be away from the challenge of ignorance. When we become aware, we need to align and live to the alignment, and we learn to collaborate. We need to change a strategy of competition to a strategy of collaboration in this world that we already have enough, but we have a common challenge of flourishing. So I think there's new business coming up in every aspect, new infrastructures coming out, if we reorientate ourselves and think out of the box, because there is no box. The box is our limiting thoughts. We might just listen and have some insight. This great sameness must start with the family. So we become strong through diversity. Strong, but we always have the same direction because we share life. And we share living a life together. And we share the same family story. So work on the family of origin. Make use of that and free from that story. Move on into a life of journeying together. And contribute to the world and make a living while creating life. This is much needed now. This is where we can truly, when we overcome all these challenges we have and limiting thoughts that we have, and reframe a new paradigm of family and celebrate our passion of diversity on the same journey of life while we heal ourselves from our past and creating a future together. There's a couple of things I learned in my family business, and I'm the fourth generation now. And a couple of values that is really needs to review whether we want them. One is the value of legacy. Another is the value of prudence. These two values is almost for sure in every families around the world have it. And yet, if you think clearly, what does prudence mean? So these two things, we really have to think about it in the changing world. Do we need these two? Or rather, we replace it with consciousness, because as Einstein say, you cannot solve the problem you created from the same level of thinking. And when you're conscious and aware of where the world, and you see the world's evolving, you can see the trend, you can see everything, we can then think generation after generation. So United Nations have been talking about a sustainability mandate. It is something that more and more people realize that we have to address these. It's a really real issue. The environmental, social issues are there. And the investment community has started with ESG, environmental social impact, governance systems, to really understand where we are in these areas. So in 2012, before the 17 sustainability goal, they formed a high-level team to study a new paradigm of economics, a new well-being and happiness paradigm of economics that is not based on per capita income. Because we all know having more is not necessarily better. And so 7 happiness report has been issued since last year. And every year they come out with a happiness report. But they still haven't been able to identify and really define what's well-being. And of course, individually, we see the consumer forecast that wellness tops in the next 30 years forecast as the most obvious top trend of consumer analysis. You chase after happiness, you chase after sustainability, natural, but it's an ignorance. You cannot be happy if you're chasing after happiness. But if you chase after flourishing, if you work on flourishing from inside out, happiness, sustainability, it's not even your concern. I think there's a need to shift in our mind. But the most significant, as we know, is a change of worldview. Because if we change our worldview, you think about culture. Isn't it all culture come from a worldview? There was the sage, whether it's Buddha or Jesus or Lao Tzu or whatever. It tells something about reality. And then people say, yeah. Then they develop some practice into a life journey, into systems, into rituals, into culture. And that's how we actually create the world, from our belief system, from how we see the world. So here you are. The whole world's not well, and every sector and individuals are looking for what is well-being and how to get there.